Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any question, please write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com regarding today's video or any other video in the past. Also, if you have any comment and suggestions to this YouTube channel, I will welcome to hear from you. If you have vegetables that in your garden, such as green bean, zucchini, yellow squash, this is the video for you. In this video, all the vegetables that I shown here come from the garden. First of all, I have some green beans that my friend gave me that he grew in his garden. Now this green bean is very unusual, and first time I have this green bean because this green bean has no string. So all you have to do is to cut off the end and it is ready to be cooked, and I cannot find it more convenient. At first, when he told me about stringless green bean, I was not certain whether such things exist, and of course I believe him, so I went to look online and I discovered that indeed you can buy seeds for stringless green bean. So I was very eager to give this dish a try. I'm going to cook this dish in my Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok. I'm going to start with about 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And I'm going to season the wok using my spot seasoning method to create a non-stick cook surface. The step is very simple, but this will guarantee that I will have a non-stick cook surface. And the reason it is important because I'm going to shallow fry some chicken. I'm going to coat the chicken with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of sugar, half teaspoon of garlic pepper, and half teaspoon of the Walk with Tak basic seasoning mix. I have the Walk with Tak basic seasoning mix available on Amazon, and if you're interested to give it a try, I have the information listed below the video. This method is referred to as shallow frying. It is very similar to deep frying, except you use a small amount of cooking oil, just enough to cover the bottom surface of the wok. And then I use a pair of tongs to tease the chicken apart and lay them out in a flat layer on top of the surface of the wok. And this will allow me to fry the chicken on one side first, and then I'll turn it over to fry the other side. And my wife loves that I coat the chicken with a thin layer of cornstarch because it will give the chicken a light breading with a crispy texture. But it's not too heavy, and cornstarch works really well for this purpose. Now I turn the chicken over. As you notice that the chicken actually start to caramelize, and in some area the chicken will take on a slight char appearance. This is because of the presence of the sugar, and when the sugar combined with cornstarch, it will cause charring as if the chicken has been grilled. And the garlic pepper and the basic seasoning mix will give the chicken great flavor. Now after I turn the chicken over, I next to add the green bean. Now the green bean usually are pretty tough to cook. They require quite a bit cooking time. I discovered this green bean is unusual. In fact, the green bean is not fibrous at all as the other type of green bean that with string. In fact, you can eat them raw and they taste really good. So based on this experience, I come down to the conclusion is that I can cook them to relatively short amount of time. Actually, the amount of time that would take for me to finish cooking the chicken. And next, I add the yellow squash on top of the green bean. At this time, I'm going to give the green bean and the yellow squash a heads up while the chicken finish to be fried on the other side. The method that I use in cooking this dish are frequently referred to as dry stir frying, as you notice that there are not that many oil left on the surface of the wok because I want the wok get really hot. So this way they will actually cause charring of the vegetables, both the green beans as well as the yellow squash. And to prevent the ingredients to get burned, I turn down the heat to the burner. So this way will allow me to control the temperature on the surface of the wok because I do not want the food to burn. And as I see, actually the wok's getting a little bit too hot, so I'm going to add just a little bit oil to cool down the temperature of the wok so that the food ingredients will not become too burned. Now, there are normally two ways that you can finish cooking the vegetable. One is that the method that I'm using right now. As I said, I call it a dry stir frying, which I will not add any fluid to the wok. The another method is to add fluid to the wok, particularly if you want to steam the vegetables. However, if you add fluid to the wok, you're going to causing the chicken to lose its texture, and it will not be crispy because the water will soften the chicken. I did a taste test of the texture of the green bean. I want to make sure that it is cooked enough. I was surprised that the green bean is really nice. It's enough soft, but it still has a bit crispy texture to it. Next, I'm going to season the dish very lightly. Use just a touch of oyster sauce with a little bit of hoisin sauce. This will give the dish a light teriyaki flavor. The final vegetable I'm going to add is some cherry tomatoes, which is also come from the garden. I add the cherry tomatoes right at the end because I want to cook them very lightly. As you can see that in this cooking method, everything actually are fairly dry. And this advantage because the flavor are more intense on the vegetables, as well as because I did not add any fluid during the stir frying process. The wok temperature stay very high, and you can see that the green beans and the yellow squash get slightly charred, which is exactly how I want it. For the last step, I add some Shaoxing cooking wine to make the dish has a more complex flavor. Okay, now the dish is done, and the total cook time is a little bit over 6 minutes. The green bean is really delicious, and this stringless green bean was surprisingly tender. In fact, you can do stir frying in the amount of time that I've allocated for them, and they come out really tender. They have a nice texture, and by also charring the surface of green bean gives them great flavor. The light teriyaki sauce does very well both for the green bean and the yellow squash. The tomatoes provide nice flavor, injection of a beautiful juice while you are eating this dish. And the chicken turns out great. In fact, my wife told me that how much she liked this way I cook the chicken, and she told me that in no uncertain terms that I should not cook the chicken in any other way. This is an extremely simple dish to cook, and you can make use of the garden vegetable that you might have. Instead of yellow squash, of course, you can use zucchini. So I encourage you to give this a try, and you will find that the dish is delightful. And with a small amount of chicken, it serves as a condiment rather than as a main ingredient. It provides nice flavor as well as make the dish really healthy. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine. If you'd like to learn more about this cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This cooking system will help you to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.